My name's Orion, and I'm afraid. Afraid of what, you want to know? It's most things, to be candid. Girls in general. Being responsible for my team losing. Giving the wrong answer in class. Richie.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel Paws On Animation and our Paws on Netflix segment.
This time we're covering the latest DreamWorks movie, Orion in the Dark.
This Netflix exclusive movie shows the story of Orion and his relentless fear of just about everything that's out there, including the dark. And he learns to face his fears when the dark actually comes to life and shows Orion all of the wonderful things the night can bring.
Yeah, sure. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, include occasionally some future podcasts and little pause videos.
And thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing our videos. You enjoy them. Thank you for following us on our social media accounts, all under Paws On Animation.
Yes, thank you so much. So this movie was announced a little late last year. And surprisingly, it wasn't going to theaters, it was going straight to Netflix. And my guess is they decided to play it safe after Ruby Gillman underperformed at the box office and was one of the lowest rated DreamWorks movies ever. They decided to just go ahead and put this movie on Netflix instead of the theaters, so in case it didn't do that well, at least they would still make some type of income and didn't have a failure in the theaters. So, and I think for this particular movie, that was probably the right decision. If they know that they have movies that are going to be bigger hits, they put them in the theaters, and the ones they know are sort of just little romps and smaller scale films, they just put them on Netflix, and I think that works out way better for them.
Definitely. So for you that aren't familiar with this, it was released this year, and it's a fantasy adventure comedy film. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Animated by Mikros Animation. We were very surprised by that. And it has a cast that we're not familiar with everyone.
That's true.
Jacob Tremblay is Orion, and Colin Hanks as adult Orion, who we've actually seen in a couple movies, and yes, he is related to Tom Hanks.
Oh my gosh.
We have Angela Bassett as Sweet Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Carla Gugino as Orion's mom. And the rest we're not familiar with, we will give them a mention. Paul Walter Hauser as Dark, Ike Barinholtz as Light, Natasha Demetrio as Sleep, Golda Rochevo as Unexplained Noises and Debbie.
I'm not.
Nat Faxon as Insomnia, Arpana Nancherla as Quiet, and then there's a few more.
Right. And it's a relatively small cast. It sounds like it's way larger, but no, it's only a few characters that you stay with the whole movie up until the end. And I think for this one, not knowing it was even based on a book and just watching it for what it is, I think this was a very honest attempt, just like Ruby Gillman. And here was a sincere try to do something deep. Like, you had Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, go deep into what it means to be on the last life, between life and death. What are you going to use your life for? The wishing star and all that. The Bad Guys had an in-depth thing about judging people's character. Can people change from good to bad or bad to good? And I think this one was trying to go more in depth of, you know, your perception of something that can be presented as bad can be good in different lights. Like in here, he's afraid of the dark more than anything else, and it literally annoys the dark. So he shows them all the things that can be great that happen in the dark and why it's necessary. And they make it seem like at first, like it seems like an exaggeration just to justify the dark and the night isn't so bad, but when they start bringing up some things, it's like, well, you need night and day, pretty much. The way it's phrased, you need dark and light, instead of saying night and day, almost sounds like you're trying to say something else. So I think there was more potential and there was a bigger message, but they don't go all the way through. It's more focused on getting the laughs out than telling the story.
That's true. I definitely agree. So, as Rascal mentioned, this is based on the children's book of the same name written by Emma Yarlett.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not familiar with it. If you
I
are,
don't know.
let us know in the comments below. And it actually got pretty positive reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Rotten Tomatoes, and we don't pay attention to anymore anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it rated at 90% of 70 critics reviews positive with an average rating of 7 out of 10. And Charlie Kaufman's screenplay benefits from a screenplay that Charlie Kaufman had, which we didn't know as well. And Metacritic, lastly, gave it a 72 out of 100 based on 23 critics.
Okay.
Giving it generally favorable reviews.
Okay.
The animation is really good.
Yes, true, definitely. You can tell the style is different. They weren't doing a blend of two different animations like they did with some of their other movies. They've just gone back right now to the regular CGI, but they still made it stand out in its own way.
Definitely.
And I do like that they try to give little personifications to all the things of the night. The only thing I think ruins it is that, this is a little bit of a spoiler, if you haven't seen the movie, warn you right now. They get to a point in the movie where it has a flash forward, and you find out this is a story Orion's telling to his daughter in the future. And it kind of breaks up the pacing, especially when it gets towards the end and he doesn't know how to end the story. So he just said, oh, she's just gonna put herself in the story and help save it. And it's really, really weird. Like, they kind of ran out at the end and said, oh, we'll just do this. And it's not like annoying or irritating like we've seen other people do. It's just like, look, we really don't know. Let's just put this in since this is being told to a kid and they feel involved. And it's not terrible. It's just more like you kind of ran out at the end. Then it got to the very, very end, and it started turning to Artemis Fowl. Like, okay, time for the movie to end.
And the dark is supposed to be able to relate to him because he's got some fears himself.
Right, it's like the dark's afraid. Yeah.
And he doesn't think anyone likes him, and everyone hates him. And at first, Orion acts afraid of him as well, but then he gets to know him, and then of course by the end of the movie, it's not a spoiler here, they become friends.
Yeah.
And Dark has a higher self-confidence than he did at the beginning of the movie.
True.
And everything works out fine.
True.
I thought having the twist, as you said, revealing that he's an adult and telling the daughter was two things. It was different.
Yeah.
But it also was reminiscent of, Boss Baby.
Yes, true, with another DreamWorks movie. Despite what you think of those films, yeah, they did actually use that framing device too. And then you have the other characters in here to represent different things that come along with the dark, which again was a pretty cool idea. You had Street Dreams that gives the people who are having nightmares or anxieties, and she gives them dreams to where they'll feel relaxed and they'll feel better when they wake up. And you have unexplained noises. It's like, wait, there's someone that goes around giving them noises. What purpose does that serve? You gotta really question some of these. One looks like a Muppet called Sleep, and she has interesting ways of one, she kind of smothers them to sleep. Another one, chloroform, looks like it. One's about to hit him with the hammer, and it's like, this can't be legal. And then you have one that's insomnia. I'm not sure what purpose that serves when they can't go to sleep. They never really explained that one.
Well, they all are reminiscent, of course, the Guardians.
Rise of the Guardians,
yeah,
right. Except Guardians of...
As soon as you see
right.
it, that's what you think.
I guess like Rise of the Nighttime people, I guess. And then the last one, which I think to me was the funniest, there's a little one called Quiet. And it looks like a little white puffball mouse. And you can't really hear what she's saying. So they put up subtitles on Netflix so you can hear it. And what I think is hilarious is that it looks eerily similar to the star in Wish. And this came out, was already being made. It looks eerily similar to it. And what is hilarious is that there's no way they could have predicted this. If you've seen our podcast for Smartly for Wish for what the original concept was, we mentioned how the character in the final film just doesn't feel like much of anything. Well, ironically, DreamWorks ended up doing the exact same formula and still pulled it off better and made this one Miss Marvel Plus. She was more memorable than the one Disney made. They gave it a name, it had personality, it could speak a little bit, it had powers, and its power was to literally suck away all the noise and make it quiet. And make it, and it was actually cute. It's like, how did they end up making that better than Disney? So DreamWorks beat them in two departments. Like, this is not looking good. I could not believe that. This says a lot.
Yes, we have everything come around to Wish. You know that.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a fun movie if you just want something quick to watch, entertaining.
Yeah.
If you are familiar with the book, then it's a great way for you to see it animated. If you're not, it's a great way, like we became familiar with the work itself.
Right.
It runs 93 minutes, so it's not long.
No, it's
And
surprisingly quick.
The animation's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It has a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
There's no sadness. The
That's
mom's
true.
not dead. We were so
Nor
happy
the
to find
dad.
the mom was still there.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it, you should give it a watch. So,
yeah, absolutely.
if you've seen Orion in the Dark, let us know what you think in the comments below, or if you've read the book. We'd like to know about that as well.
And how does it compare between the movie and the book? What do they adapt? What do they change?
Absolutely. And if you haven't, it's available exclusively on Netflix to stream. Give it a watch. Come back. Tell us what you think.
Right. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and we'll give you his favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And if you have enjoyed this podcast, please give it a like and a share. It really helps us out.
Yes. So thank you so much for watching Mask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.